Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. So in this video I want to answer some questions regarding doing masters at UTA. I got a few DMs in Instagram asking questions regarding college life, fee structure, housing and everything. So I thought I'll make a video so that it will be helpful for everyone. If you think this video is helpful, please like, share and subscribe. The first thing that I want to talk about is university housing. Usually Indian students here prefer to live on campus. There are several on-campus housing opportunities. The first apartment that I will talk about is Timberbrooks. So Timberbrooks is by the bed apartment. So that means you will be reserving only your bed. You won't know who your roommates are going to be. The university will assign your roommates, and pros of living in Timberbrooks is that it is fully furnished. You don't have to buy table, chair, bed or anything. So you will even get a sofa and everything. And the rent is usually $365 if you are living in 2 BHK. And this amount will cover the electricity bill, water bill, Wi-Fi and everything. So I think that's a great option. But the only thing is that you won't know who your roommates are going to be. If you want to experience American culture, then I think that's the place you should be living in, because you get to live with people from different background, and that's a great way to interact with people from different countries. But then some people do prefer to live with Indians or people from their own home country. And you also have 1 BHK apartments in Timberbrooks, but it will be usually expensive, as in in 1 BHK only 2 people can live in. So it will be almost $500 per month. I think that's too much for students like me. It is totally up to you what you prefer, but this is how the Timberbrook apartment works. And the other options are Meadowrun apartments, then Arbor Oaks apartments and University Village. In Arbor Oaks and Meadowrun, you have the option to apply for 1 BHK or 2 BHK. So the pros and cons of living in Meadowrun and Arbor Oaks is that majority of the Indians live here. Moreover, if you are living on campus, it's very safe. Like, I can go out in the night at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock to my friend's house and it's completely safe. So but the Meadowrun and Arbor Oak apartments are not furnished. You will have to get all your items like table, chair, bed, sofa or whatever, and then the rent is going to be around $345 for a 2 BHK. So in 2 BHK only 4 people can live. I suggest you live in, if you get the opportunity, then live in a 2 BHK apartment in Meadowrun or Arbor Oaks, because you will have your own space and the rent is also not too much. So you can also live in 1 BHK, but then it's 1 BHK is going to be a little expensive, because only 2 people can live in 1 BHK, and the rent for 1 BHK will be around $1,000 and it will be shared by 2 people. So then it will become very expensive for you. But one more option for you guys is University Village. So in University Village only 1 BHKs are available, I think, and but in University Village you don't have dryer and washer inside the house. So that's con of living in University Village, but it is still on campus, so it's still good if you're living in University Village. There are plenty of options available to live off campus as well. There are so many apartments like 848, 404, 848 Michelle, 404 Borders and many other opportunities, but most of the Indians prefer living on campus. So if you're coming here, then try to apply for on-campus housing as soon as possible. Or you can also check out these Facebook groups that I will link in the description. So these are UTA apartment housing groups. Usually people, if they have any accommodation or if they are looking for accommodation, they post there. So it will be easier to find your roommates or find apartment for you. Talking about part-time jobs, there are plenty of part-time jobs available here at UTA, because UTA is a very big campus. The most easiest job that you can get on campus is at dining. There are a lot of dining job opportunities. And they usually pay $8 to $9 per hour, and the maximum number of hours that you can work in a week is 20 hours. So yeah, so this is one of the options, and there are a lot of job opportunities available at library, at OIT, and in the research in the research labs. What I suggest you to do is when you come on campus, try to connect with people who have already been working part-time on campus, and if you know people who are already working, you can ask them to refer you, and that's the easiest way you can get a job. Otherwise, if you apply on a portal, they usually take time to process your application, and on campus jobs are not that difficult to get. I mean, you don't have to have a very special skill. It's not as difficult as getting a full-time job, obviously. So the easiest way you can get a job is try to connect with people, ask them to refer you on campus. So one job that I specifically want to talk about is tutoring and SI positions. So these, for me personally, I think if you get a job that will help you for your education as well, that will be a great opportunity. So I suggest you to apply for these roles. Usually you can if you have got an A or B in any subject, you can opt for tutoring, or you can become an SI leader. That way you will be tutoring other people who are lagging behind in their curriculum, and this will benefit you as well. And they usually pay $11 per hour. That's a good amount. But the number of hours that you can work as an SI leader per week is going to be only 11 hours. But still it will be helpful for you, and you won't have to invest so much of physical energy. And if you are a tutor, the maximum number of hours that you can work is 20 hours, but it's a variable pay. It depends upon how many appointments that you get. I think these two options are available to you, but majority of the people are not aware of it. So I suggest you apply for these two as well. Usually the job openings for tutoring and SI opens very early, so make sure you apply soon, and the interview is not difficult to crack. So yeah, you can apply for these. And the other most important job that is available is as a teaching assistant or as a research assistant. So if you want to apply for the teaching assistant role, then make sure that your professor knows you well. Make sure that you get good grades in that subject. If you know your professor better, then he or she will probably take you as a teaching assistant because they know you well. So have that good connection with the professor, and yeah, if you become a TA, obviously your fees will become in-state. That means you will be paying half of the fees. That's a very good job that you can get on campus, so try to get that. You can apply for research assistant positions at library and in Fab Lab and so on. So even these jobs will pay you well, and you will also get in-state tuition fees if you get that. So these are the part-time opportunities, and usually for people who are coming for the first time, they won't know about part-time opportunities that much. So I suggest you talk to people who are already working on campus. They can refer you and you can get the job easily. So yeah, that's about it. And then next we will talk about fee structure. I came to UTA because the fees here is comparatively less when compared to other universities. So usually per semester the fees will be around $13,000 to $14,000. So basically you can take a minimum of 3 subjects per semester. So one subject will cost you around $3,000 to $4,000, and yeah, so the fees will be around $13,000 per semester. And if you are a TA or a research assistant, and if you have in-state, then it will be half of that. That means you will be paying around $6.5K or something. And So in the first semester you can only take 3 courses, but if you manage to get a good grade in your first semester, then you can take 4 subjects in the next semester. But for that you will have to get permission from the grad advisor. So yeah, and the living expense, as I have already mentioned, it will be around 345 to 365 dollars rent per month if you are living on campus. So yeah, this is the fee structure and the living expenditure. The next thing that I want to talk about is internships. United States, they do not offer placements at the university. Like usually in India, there are so many universities which provide you placements on campus, but here it is your responsibility to apply for companies and get whatever job that you want. Maybe if you are in top 20 universities, you might get a call from the companies itself, but here you have to apply if you want the job. If you want internship or full time, then you just have to go to LinkedIn or connect with the recruiter, apply on their website. That is how it works. And if you are in not that top 20 universities, I think it is going to be same for everybody. And one more thing that I want to mention is, if you are changing your branch like me, like I did my undergrad in electronics and now I'm doing my master's in computer science, then you will have 2 or 3 prerequisites. So if you have prerequisites, then and if you are coming in fall, then you may not be eligible to apply for internships in summer, because the university rule is that you should have finished 18 credits, I mean half of your entire credits, to be eligible to apply for internship. So if you have 2 or 3 prerequisites, then you may not be able to finish half of your entire coursework by summer. So I suggest that finish off your prerequisites by taking exam that the university provides in the beginning of the semester, and you will be saving a lot of money as well. So yeah, do that if you have prerequisites. And for me, I had 3 prerequisites. I had theory of computation, data structures, and discrete mathematics. They usually offer tests for discrete math and theory of computation. I will suggest you to try to clear these 2 subjects if you get them. It won't be difficult to clear. So I will for theory, I could clear only theory of computation. I did not clear discrete math, so I had to take it. If you have theory of computation, then I will suggest you the video that you can refer and study for the exam. So for theory of computation, you can watch Ravindra Babu's theory of computation tutorial. I watched all his videos and I was able to clear. I think that should be enough for you to clear theory of computation. Discrete math you can clear as well, but you will have to put in some effort. And data structures, they don't provide exams, so you will have to take that course. For me, it was useful because I did not have any knowledge about data structures and algorithms. So since I took that class, I got a good understanding of data structures and algorithms, and I'm very happy that I took that class. Now talking about college environment, I like this university a lot. Like the college environment here has been very good for me. So if you are a master's student, then majority of your classmates will be Indians. So don't experience that kind of diversity in your class, because majority of them will be Indians, and people that you will be living with will also be Indians. But if you are an undergrad student, you will have a lot of opportunity to mingle with people from different background, from different countries, because you will have classmates who will be from different parts of the country, and they usually have a lot of fun activities as well, where you can engage with people from other background. So when we came in fall, there were so many activities during the semester. So that way we could like there were so many people from different country, but everybody was dancing, everybody was enjoying. But now because of COVID and everything, the university does not conduct these activities. So for me, the first semester has been very good. Like I enjoyed so much. But now, since everything is online, you won't be able to experience much of a college life. So yeah, but when you are coming, maybe the college will reopen and you might get an opportunity to explore all of these. One thing is that if you are coming in fall, that means usually there are a lot of students coming in fall. So you have a better opportunity to connect with people and mingle with people, because there are so many activities in the fall as well. So that is how I got my friends, and I got to know so many people. I think that is one of the advantage of studying at UTA. Here it feels like home because there are so many people, so many Indians living here. It feels like your own home country. Talking about coursework, if you have got GRE score above 310, then you can take only 30 credits. But if you have, if your GRE score is less than that, then you will have to take 36 credits. So the course structure here, how it works here is that you will have to do 2 majors in 2 areas. You can either choose your major in database, software engineering, or artificial intelligence, or like there are few more available, but these are the most famous majors. So, and in each major you will have to compulsorily take 2 5000 level course and 1 6000 level course, and you have to take 2 compulsory course subjects. That will be algorithms, and the other one will be data modeling and techniques or distributed systems. So it is totally up to you. You can choose whichever subject you want, and but these are the criteria that you will have to meet. I am doing my majors in database and software engineering, because I realized that after taking software engineering courses, that is what I love to do. And as I told you before, I did my undergraduate in electronics, and I worked for 2 years in the IT industry doing my majors in software engineering. I realized so many things I could have done better if I had already had the training in software engineering. I thought to be a good software developer, you have to be good at coding, but I realized that is not the only thing that you need. There is so much more to be a software developer, and I'm very happy that I'm learning that here. And all the courses that are offered here may not be very satisfactory to you. For that, you have to be very careful when you're choosing the subjects. So talk to your seniors and before choosing the subject, because you won't know the coursework and the kind of teaching that the professor do for that particular subject. And there are so many very good subjects that are offered here. Overall, it's a very good university to be in. So I was a bit afraid before coming to UTA, but yeah, I'm very happy that I chose this university. And the coursework here is not that bad, to be honest. I have learned so much here. So if you're planning to come into UTA, then I highly suggest that you do come here. And this is it. I hope I answered majority of the questions that you might have had. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video.